Better to have more than what we need, right?
You got your pajamas, right?
Yeah, I'm wearing them.
Perfect.
How you doing?
Good morning, man.
Good morning, Ben. Good to see you.
Haven't seen you in a day's age or three. It's funny, this place, I haven't been here in years, and I swear to God, you haven't moved a single car around. It looks exactly like when I was here last time. Especially the Nova. That's your brother's Nova, right?
Yeah, it has a 383 in it, freshly rebuilt, brand new transmission.
Please tell me he did something with the frame in that thing.
No.
To handle a 383.
So...
What year is it?
75.
75 Nova with a 383.
Yeah, but he got it with 33,000 original miles on it.
So
nobody ever sat in the back seat.
You ever seen what one of those will do with the horsepower behind it?
Well, I mean,
without it being
it's destroy the
box frame.
It's destroy the differential.
And that Jeep, you know, there's guys that would be all over that thing, that Wagoneer.
Yeah, like my dad.
Like your dad.
Who's letting it rust on the side of the house.
I'm gonna fix it up someday.
I was like, come on, Dad. There's a new Wagoneer out. Go get that one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. What is the new Wagoneer? Isn't that just like a Cherokee with a trim package on it?
I think the base Wagoneer is, but there is still the Grand Wagoneer like that. But you're sitting around $100,000 at that point.
But it really though, it's just a fancy Grand Cherokee with package, right?
Yeah. To my understanding, that's what it is.
This is what happens when you get old. I mean, you're a car guy and you don't have a freaking clue what any of the new stuff are doing.
Right.
So
all I know is that all the new Chrysler products are Fiats.
All? I mean, I know. What about the
all of them?
What about the Wrangler?
Fiat owns all of them.
Well, I know they own it. You know, and the shame is, I've always been a Jeep guy after Volkswagen, which I haven't had a Volkswagen in years now. Well, I take that back. I got Glenny 67, don't I? But anyway, after Volkswagen is probably the next greatest number of cars I've owned. Whatever are Jeeps. Always had Jeeps, and it pains me. I don't think I'm ever gonna buy another one.
I don't know. You can't. They cost so much money.
Well, and they're getting less.
Jeepy.
Yeah, I mean, really, you might as well buy a Suburban.
Yeah, that's the one thing I noticed.
It's a topless Suburban.
Yeah.
Only not as comfortable and loud, and it'll get wet.
Why would you get a Jeep anyways when you can get the new Bronco?
You know, I actually told a friend of mine that, and I couldn't believe it. I said, you know, and here I am, you know, Jeep guy. Well, I like the old Broncos. Yeah. But I said, you know, I hate to say this, but if I was in the market for a Jeep, I'd probably go buy the new Bronco.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? It has so many amazing packages.
Well, and the one they just came out with, the two-door, you know,
the big one,
the honcho looking thing. Yeah, it looks really cool. When it first came out, I was like,
Well, those were the Bronco Sports.
Oh,
the small ones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those would be the equivalent of the Bronco too, right?
I looked at that and I went, oh, look, an Explorer. Bronco.
Yeah. But with the full-size Bronco, you can get they just announced that the Raptor package will be available for it.
Of course, yeah, Raptor.
And then there's also Warthog Edition, which is essentially the same thing.
Does it have a 30mm chain gun on the front?
I wish it did.
All right, I'm down. I'm looking at that.
Might be an option.
Yeah.
Dealer. Ammo not included.
Ammo, yeah. Spent plutonium rounds.
Yeah.
All right, so here's what we're doing today. Now, we're going to a guy that I don't think you've met, Mr. Atticus Field. By the way, can we say that name together? 3, 2, 1. Atticus Field. It just sounds so honcho. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to edit that out, I hope, if I remember right.
You got to leave that in there, man.
Oh,
you have to leave stuff like that
in there. Here's why I might take it out. Now, you haven't met Atticus.
Yeah.
He and I, do you have any friends that you met through Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you and me.
Okay. Well, no, we met through the business group.
Did we? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, well, Atticus is one of those guys that I first met through Facebook, like-minded and all this other stuff. You know, car guy.
Yeah.
Right? And he was doing dirt work. We're going to talk more about that on the side. And so there you go, you know. Social media does, everyone knows social media. You know, there are some benefits to it. And I tell you what, I have not only made more friends, but had contacts on car stuff and, like, you know, dirt work stuff.
Right.
Through, you know, it's networking. Anyway, tangent. So he came out to do some dirt work. He did a great job. But here's where I got to be careful today. He's a car guy. That's why we're going out there, right? The guy's freaking huge.
Okay.
And I don't mean like Rosie O'Donnell huge.
Oh, okay.
I mean like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his 20s or 30s huge.
That's like, a pretty big dude.
Yeah. So like when I first saw him.
So it's a good thing I didn't conceal carry today, right?
Well, that's where I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. So he comes over to move the dirt and he gets out and I'm like, holy shit, do you just move the rocks and boulders and stumps by hand, or are you just going to rip them out of the ground and throw them and put, and you know, as a hobby, as a side, he does bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Right? And, you know, a lot of I've never, well, you could tell, you know, I used to be really into bodybuilding, Matt.
Yeah.
I built my body up with Big Macs in a day and pizzas.
You're just bulking up.
Right. I'll start working out any day. Anyway, I know that, you know, a couple things. A lot of those guys, it gets old. Everywhere you go, someone's staring or commenting on, you know, these big biceps you got and all that, right? Here's where I was making a grievous error. Stereotypes.
Yeah.
Not all, but a lot of the guys, and I know a few that are involved in bodybuilding. I learned something about myself, and that's I have this thing where they're all gonna be like, whoa, you know, like roided out. Yeah.
That's how it is.
Swole, right? He is the coolest, most laid back Jim. He's just a guy, right? Super nice guy. So I'm trying not to comment or stare. Of course, you know, Glenny's out there watching him do dirt work.
Yeah.
All right.
You gotta rot your brain out if
you're really interested in that dirt work, aren't you, baby? Right? So I actually had to admit to him later. I said, I owe you an apology because I had this image, this stereotype, and it was wrong and it was bad on me that, you know, you bodybuilder guys were all just roided out, you know, rage monsters. He, again, totally cool, laid back guy, really smart guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's too bad the stereotype exists because it's not. And he's right, it is. Anyway, so we're gonna go out there and do it. Yeah, right. Yeah. Which he totally isn't. So we're gonna go out there today to do a shoot for Spirited Drives and Unreliable Cars. We're gonna talk about he's into these trucks, right? That's why we're there. I need your help.
Okay.
Because you know how I am. My mouth and the filter, right? It's like a genetic deficiency on my
It's like
part.
you were once in active duty or something.
Yes, something like
something
that.
Like it's really weird.
It's like I've been in the military, right? I need your help in catching me on staying focused on the cars. If I start cracking about the fact that he's a tree trunk, I need you to reel me in because I don't want A, it's not cool, and B, I don't want to be proven right and he's suddenly just like in the middle of a calm, this is my truck, and I make one comment to him and he goes, and he rips you like that scene in Deadpool where he just rips me in half, right?
I'll just stand in the background with my hand up like a tag team.
Well, actually, or just film it. That might, we probably go viral, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, if he's
as I'm getting ripped in half. Matt, are you getting this?
I will definitely be getting that.
All right, sweet, sweet. Anyway, all right, let's go out and check out Atticus. I'm actually excited for you to meet him because he's a hell of a guy. I've been wanting to do this shoot for months, and here we are. It looks like we're actually gonna barely miss the rain, so little clouds is all right. Let's go shoot some trucks.
Sounds good.
All right, man. All right, Ben, Spirited Drives and Unreliable Cars, and today we are going to explore the exciting world of stump grinders, Ford Escorts, and maybe an old Ford truck or two. So welcome to Spirited Drives. We are in Kingston, Washington on a not wet fall day, which is amazing. And we're going to go ahead and meet Mr. Atticus Fields. And let's say it again. I think that name is just so badass. Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Atticus Fields.
Atticus Fields.
And he's not around here right now, so I don't want him to hear me saying what a cool name. Anyway, we're going to work very hard on talking just about cars today, and nothing else, like bodybuilding. Hey, Atticus.
Okay. Hey, how you doing?
Nice to meet you. Thanks for letting us come out and walk around your property. So
Good to see ya.
You've got some toys.
A few, maybe too many.
So before we get to talk about that, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know that I met you because I needed some dirt work done.
Yes.
And I think we'd known each other through the joys of social media.
Right.
But you weren't doing that full time. I know you had to come out on a weekend and do that. So tell us a little about what you've been up to since I saw you last time.
So I worked at the shipyard for quite a few years, about 11 years at PSNS, and I decided that wasn't the direction I wanted to go anymore. And I'd been doing a little bit of dirt work on the side for a few years, and this last January I decided to quit and go into business for myself. So
Yeah?
here we are.
Are you really pumped up about that?
Yeah.
Anyway, so you don't move the dirt and stumps around by hand. I mean, okay, I'm just kidding. I'll get back to the cars. I'll get back to the cars, I promise. So now full time, you're doing, I know again you did dirt work, but I think you've expanded now into.
So I'm doing stump grinding, dirt work, excavation, foundations, drainage, road beds, grading, demolition.
What's the name of your business?
Upper Left Excavation.
Upper Left Excavation, located in Kitsap County, Washington. Dub it in. Located in Kitsap County, Washington. Where do you do work at? Just Kitsap, Snohomish, Thurston?
Mostly Kitsap, spilling out a little bit into Jefferson County and surrounding areas. Go as far as maybe Gig Harbor.
And once again, folks, the name of that business?
Upper Left Excavation.
Upper Left Excavation. Shameless plug. All right, let's talk about cars. I'm standing right in front of a Ford truck. Now, are you a Ford truck guy? Is that your thing? Or what kind of cars do you like?
So I like the old Chevy muscle cars as far as the cars go, but when it comes to trucks, especially the older ones, I'm pretty well into the Fords.
See, it can be done, folks. You can do Ford, Chevy, Dodge, whatever. You can't do Italian or French cars, at least not on my show. But anything else, you are allowed to like something besides just one brand, as long as it's not Peugeot or Fiat. Anyway, so, well, we have to be standing in front of a Ford truck. This one is obviously not quite ready for the car show yet. What is this?
So that's a 1977 F-250 Highboy. That was my first truck. I've had it for about 20 years now. And yeah, it's always had a special place in my heart. It hasn't been driven in a while. I recently finally drug it around from the back and got it going again.
It's a runner.
It's a runner.
What's it got in it?
It's 460. Somebody swapped in the 460 from the either had a 351 or a 400 modified in it.
You know, I've always preferred the 460 over the 400.
Yeah, I don't think the 400 was the greatest design of a motor. Right. It's a funny story. When I bought it out of the field I bought it in, the guy
Atticus Field.
the guy he'd put in a 460 and he couldn't get the clutch to engage or disengage when you started in gear to take off. When you started in neutral and put in the clutch,
hey, why not?
You couldn't go anywhere.
Drove to high school for 3 weeks like that, folks. It'd be done.
So I brought it home in my driveway, pulled the transmission out of it, and
by hand.
By hand. And the dumb things we do as kids. And I saw the bell housing. The clutch was riding against the back of the bell housing. I said, well, that's got to be the bell housing. So through some horse trading, I came up with a 460 bell housing, bolted it in there, and drove it like that for years until it was getting old and just kind of got parked.
Well, you know, I don't know if the folks in the video are going to see this, but if it's not showing up on the video, let me tell you, this thing is straight. If you're looking at an old truck that needs some work, I don't see dents. I mean, this should be all rusted out.
Right.
And it's just not. So you've got one heck of a truck to at least to start with here. And you pulled this out of a field.
Yeah, we ended up pulling it out of this guy's field out in Hansville, where it's been sitting for years.
It's amazingly straight.
It is.
I've always had an affinity for the 67 through the 77 Ford truck. I like Ford trucks overall, but that's kind of my favorite 10 years. And I was just talking before we began filming, I was just talking with you that I always thought, I'll get another one. I've had a few. Right. I've had a 67, I've had a 71. And you could get these all day long, anywhere, $1,000, $1,500, $1,200 for a decent truck. And I thought, yeah, one of these days I'll go and get another one. I kind of took my eyes off the ball. And, you know, I started looking a year or so ago and, oh my God, $20,000, $15,000. Apparently, everybody else has caught up with my good taste and has now decided these are really cool trucks and they want them too. So you paid $500 for this.
I paid $500 for this.
You'll never pay $500 for a truck like this again.
No. I've had some offers on it, and I thought, no, it better just sit there.
You'll regret it.
I'm sure I will.
Now, is this your only Ford truck?
No, there's another one in there.
Oh yeah, why didn't I see that? You can clearly see there's a Ford truck in here. So this must be the base model.
Yeah, this is the bare bones.
It's actually Wonder Woman's truck.
I see what you did there. Atticus, this thing is really long.
This thing is really long.
What is this?
is a crew cab, which makes it a 1-ton crew cab, which makes it a pretty rare truck. I think this was one of 1,500.
A 1-ton crew cab.
A 1-ton crew cab.
Oh, yeah.
350. I think this was one of 1,500 or so in 1972 of the 1-tons. Now the 1-tons didn't come in 4-wheel drive. You will notice it has 4-wheel drive now. The only way you could get a 4x4 was in the 3/4 ton with a short bed. So I bought this one, drove it home, and immediately.
It didn't look like this when you drove it
Didn't
home.
quite look like this.
Okay.
We'll show a picture of it.
Yeah.
And brought it in the shop and cut it to pieces.
Yeah, you did.
I cut the whole front suspension out of it.
Yeah, I could see you're doing some modification.
Yeah, that's actually a Battle-Born brake 4-wheel drive conversion kit.
Wow.
It's sitting on 2010 Super Duty axles out of an F350 that had it wasn't all options truck. It had power steering, power brakes, front disc brakes, and air, which was basically every option you could check on the truck.
Especially back then.
In 1970. There's a surprising number of them coming out of Alaska, either due to the logging industry. The crew cabs were big in the logging industry. They were big on the pipelines.
Right.
They were big on anywhere because you couldn't go down to the dealership and just buy a crew cab truck in the day. This was an order truck.
Yeah. If a little side note, a little history lesson. My family's been in Alaska since the '60s. If you're big into crew cabs, when they started surveying Alaska beginning in the 1940s, they wanted crew cab trucks, and like you mentioned, those were mainly special order. So the government was special ordering Internationals, Dodge, Chevy, Ford, everything, and shipping massive numbers of these crew cab trucks up there. I even saw a forward control Jeep, if you know what that is, crew cab truck up there. And they would bring these things up by the hundreds and the thousands, and when they were done, it was not worth it to bring the trucks back out. They would literally park them up there in rows out in the middle of nowhere and abandon them. And if you knew where to go and where to look, his eyes are getting big, you could find 50s, 60s, and 70s, sometimes even 80s crew cab trucks out in the middle of nowhere in Alaska, sitting all in a line, usually still in government green. And if you thought you were just going to run in and grab one, they left them there to rot. They're not ever going to sell them or surplus them, but you're not allowed to take them. Now, strangely, as the years have gone by, those trucks have started to dwindle and disappear, and you are starting to see many crew cab old trucks running around Alaska in various colors. It's an amazing coincidence. I'll just throw that your way when you move to Alaska.
We'll have to check it out.
Yeah, you have to check it out. But back to your truck. So we're gonna definitely have to see what this thing looks like when you get it all done. What are you gonna put in it?
So going in it is the monstrous money pit that I've had here.
Oh, look at that.
Is the 97 12 valve Cummins.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Well, that'll definitely move it.
that will move it. I'm anticipating making about 550 to 600 horsepower.
Oh,
and
wow.
About 1,200 foot-pounds of torque.
Now, is this just going to be for fun? Is this just going to be a toy, or?
I'd like to be able to like drive it out to bids and stuff. I wanted all the modern abilities with the new axles and everything of a modern truck. I wanted it to be able to, but I think it's too rare to beat on too hard.
Right. This is actually, I think, going to be our first follow-up project. We're going to shoot a video and call it part 1. I'm going to have to see this thing when we get done and do a part 2. Going to put your company logo on the side?
So I've been thinking about that. I wanted to get it air because the truck is patina. It's going out. There was some rust repair on. I ended up cutting the whole roof of it off actually.
Oh my gosh!
The rust that went around the top. I cut the floor pans out. I cut the body mounts out. I replaced it all. I loved the patina of the truck as it was. So I found a painter that could match the new paint with. And distress the new paint going on to match the old paint.
That's an art form.
And so that as far as the company logo, yes, the plan is to end up with a distressed logo on the side.
For the company name, which once again is
Upper Left Excavation.
Upper Left Excavation. Write it down. Tell your friends. Wow, man. Have you actually had this thing running, or is this happening?
Yes, I bought the complete truck for it. It ran great. It only had 150,000 miles on it, which is pretty low for a 12 valve. So being that it was such an original and low mile motor, I opted to pull the head off. I O-ringed the heads, which is where they cut rings into the bottom of the cylinder heads, press in Manel pieces of metal basically to press down on the head gasket. What that ends up doing is when you're running high levels of boost, you're not blowing your head gasket out. I went with the compound turbos, so I put 2 of them in there, a BD manifold, 5x14 injectors, 191 delivery valves, Hamilton cam, Hamilton push rods, 4K governor springs, 60-pound lift springs, high flow pump.
This is not stock.
No.
Far from. Go ahead.
No, far from stock.
You caught my ear when you said Manel. If you don't know what that is, it's a very exotic metal. Glennie, my wife, who you met, used to actually work with that when she also worked at Puget Sound Naval Shipyard. They worked with a lot of Manel, and it was very interesting to machine. You had to use these really crazy lubricant and stuff when she was spinning it. So maybe I'm just ignorant. Maybe that's a common thing, but I didn't know that was.
They said they used Manel rings when I sent out the head
to
do the work. I believe. I just knew it was when I sent it to have it done. I just knew it was a ring that was milled in. A groove milled in, and then a ring set down over it.
If you're looking at me going, you're an idiot. I am an idiot. I don't know diesels that well, but I'll be darned. That's awesome. This is going to be so exciting to see this thing get finished. I just can't get over how long that thing is.
It is long. It is long.
Is that like one of 3 or 4 fuel tanks?
That's the fuel tank setup in it wasn't great. They have the in-cab depth tank, which I took out. And then there was a mid-mount tank, but that wasn't going to work with the 4-wheel drive conversion that I had and where the driveline needed to sit. So I ended up getting an 82 Bronco 2 fuel tank, which bolts right in.
Okay.
Actually, I put in this cross member, and then the Bronco 2 fuel tank straps, and it literally
look at that.
Pinches right in there between the frame.
Perfect. How many gallons is that?
It's 23.
All right, that'll at least get you out of the driveway.
Not the biggest one, but
that's pretty cool. Let's see what other toys we can find on the property. It's a big piece of property. Surely you got something else laying around here.
I may have something.
Let's go take a look. We're heading down to take a look at some of your other stuff, and I got to stop. You got another, well, not Ford truck, but I think you got a good start on one right here. Now, what is this? Is this for your?
So that is the bed for the crew cab. That has not had anything done to it yet.
This is what's actually going to be on the back of that big, giant, long crew cab. Oh, wow. Okay.
That's the back of it. It's actually in pretty good shape.
It is in good shape.
That's the way I drug it home and took off. It's kind of dirty now, but this was the color of the truck basically when I bought it. It's actually quite a bit brighter red when you shine it up. But that's the general color and patina of the vehicle.
An old Ford truck bed that is actually solid, not rusted out. That's amazing. Nice. I'm so excited to see this thing done. Let's see what else we can find. Come on. You got a big giant crew cab Ford truck. You've got the blue one that you've had since you were younger. Obviously you're really into the trucks. What does a guy like you use as a daily driver?
Well, my pride and joy in my life is a 1993 Escort Golf Ball Edition.
Look at this thing over here.
93 Ford Escort. Matt.
Huh?
Matt.
What?
It's over here.
Oh, I was interested in the stump grinder.
No, they look actually almost identical. We'll go through some of the very subtle differences between the Ford Escort and the stump grinder in just a minute. But it's a common mistake. It's a confusion that
I can't see any difference.
Hold it against. I know, right? which one's the stump grinder. This is actually the Escort. I mean, I got it right.
Escort.
Okay.
This is the Escort.
Can it also grind stumps?
If you're going fast.
Okay.
It's a Ford Escort. They're indestructible. You can grind stumps all day long if you go fast enough.
That's true.
So I can see why you're wanting to turn the truck into your vehicle to go do bids.
Yes. I don't take that one on bids.
Oh no?
No, not very often. That was my commuter car, and it's only got 324,000 miles on it now.
Yeah.
And
It's finally worn in.
yeah, it's finally broken in, and if it gives me any trouble, it goes to the wrecking yard.
You were filming that, right? That's not the Ford Escort either.
Oh my God!
It's this
I
one
keep
over.
looking at the wrong thing.
No,
Ford
this
Blue,
is-
right?
This is yes,
The
it
Ford
is
Blue.
Ford Blue. But
Okay.
that is, yes. So when you were actually filming the other Ford Escort, stump grinder, this is quite a row of machinery. This must be what you do.
Yeah, this is it, all lined up for now until we buy more toys. But
I know when you came out and you did our work for us, you were using this
I
machine.
was using the Mini.
Yeah.
That's really the star of the show. That's what does the most work. It's the most versatile machine. There's the tractor, which really helps out a lot of road grading or material moving with the tractor. The stump grinder, which is obviously a very
beautiful.
The star of the show.
The star of the show
We've
right
been
here.
leading you up to this moment. There is no more spirited drives at Unreliable Cars. Welcome to a new series that we are kicking off. You're the first to see. Every week we'll be doing a new show all about
It's
stump grinders.
Spirited Wood.
Spirited Wood.
There you go. That's the name of the channel.
Don't look that up on Google. Don't allow your kids to look that up on Google. But that will be our new show. And
There
it's
you go.
something totally different than what you might come up on Google, and especially Bing. So, a stump grinder.
stump grinder.
460, 454.
It's got a 3-cylinder diesel.
I was close.
Actually.
Yeah, you were.
Close. All right. I'm sorry. I've never actually seen one that looks like this. Usually
Yeah.
I see the big giant. You park them.
The
and you
huge
put 'em
one.
around the,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Well, it's obviously sitting on its trailer, but it's an old one. But boy, it works good.
And I got to tell you, folks, if you haven't caught on yet, Atticus is kind of at the beginning. High-powered, modified stump grinder races. Look into it. You know, the lawnmowers. That's becoming cliche. Everybody's doing
Yeah.
lawnmowers. We are now moving into stump grinders. Get in on it now.
Everybody has John Deere's. Nobody has Raycos.
That's right. Nicely done. So you're definitely the guy to call if I need any work done around the property, which likely we will soon. Nicely done. Congratulations
Absolutely.
on starting your new business, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, this is really awesome. You're happy with what you're doing, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
I am. I like kind of a kid's dream, digging in the dirt.
Yeah. I mean, quite frankly, if I had a business like this, I know I would be swolled.
Old. There's no D at the end, Ben.
Sorry. It's Atticus. Very nice, man. Nicely done. Thank you so much for letting us come out and take a look at your toys. I am so excited to see that thing get finished up.
Absolutely.
You got an idea? Or are you just kind of doing it as you go? Or do you have a goal?
It's a money pit. I would like it done in the next. It's been there for 2 years to get it where it's at. I would like it to be finished out in 2 years. Driving around in one.
Could we come out and do another shoot
Absolutely.
when you're done? All right. All right, we are with Atticus Fields from
Kingston, Washington.
Kingston, Washington, and his new business,
Upper Left Excavation.
Upper Left Excavation. Thanks for letting us come out and take a look at your toys, man.
Absolutely.
All
Thanks
right.
for coming.
We'll do another shoot pretty soon. Stay tuned, folks. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe.